Hi everybody, and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Am I the A-hole? This one's from user Throwaway8567. Am I the a-hole for telling my best friend's girlfriend she has nothing to worry about? Title sounds weird, I know, just hear me out. I, 21 female, have a best friend we'll call Carl, 22 male. We've been friends since sophomore year of high school. I consider him one of my best friends. I am a lesbian. Yes, this is relevant. And very much not his type. Also relevant. So our relationship has never been strained due to one of us being in the friend zone with the other. We text pretty frequently and sometimes FaceTime to just hang out and talk about random crap. But about a week ago, Carl let me know that he was gonna severely limit his contact with me because his girlfriend, Amy, recently voiced her discomfort regarding the amount of time me and Carl hang out. Again, it's all over text and FaceTime due to the bug and us attending different schools. I got really sad. This might be pathetic, but talking with Carl really makes me happy, especially since he's one of the only friends from high school I've stayed close with. So I thought maybe I could try talking to Amy to see if she would reconsider her feelings towards the situation. This was an extremely stupid decision. I contacted Amy and told her about all the reasons Carl and I aren't attracted to each other. Me being gay and not his type, us seeing each other as siblings, both of us having girlfriends, etc. She got pissed and said what was going on between her and Carl was none of my business. I realized I was making a mistake and apologized for bringing it up. Carl later texted me and told me he was mad that I tried taking matters into my own hands. I apologized to him and acknowledged what I did was stupid, but I also told him I was still upset that we wouldn't be talking to each other as much. He hasn't responded since that. I vented about the whole thing to my girlfriend yesterday, and she said Amy was being ridiculous. I somewhat agree with that, but I still feel crappy for inserting myself into the situation. I just don't know how to feel right now. Am I the a-hole? The judgment is, you're the a-hole. Now let's take a look at the top comments. I'll see you later says, you're the a-hole. Carl basically told you that your presence in his relationship was causing friction, so you decided to jump into it with both feet. Bad call. It's entirely possible the jealousy isn't about romance, but emotional closeness. I don't know many people who FaceTime that regularly with platonic friends, and while it doesn't inherently mean your relationship isn't platonic, it does mean it's reasonable that his girlfriend is fed up with his regularly using up all his emotional capacity on some other woman. OP responds, holy mackerel! That thing about emotional closeness really opened my eyes. I hadn't even thought about it like that, but it makes a lot of sense. Thank you for bringing this up. Temtem says, mild, everybody sucks here in my opinion. You, because you went ahead and contacted Amy without discussing it or gaining approval from Carl. She's his girlfriend and it's his relationship. You should have talked to him about your feelings before going to Amy. You went over his head and essentially told him that you don't trust his judgment or decisions. Carl sucks because he's allowing Amy to pick and choose who he can and cannot talk to. He should have stood up for you in the first place and explained the nature of your relationship to her. Amy sucks because she's allowing her insecurities get in the way of her relationship with Carl, and she's trying to dictate what friendships he's allowed to have, essentially isolating him from people he's close to. That's a pretty big red flag in my opinion. Another commenter mentioned something about emotional closeness and how she might be jealous of that between you two, which, okay, sure. But it's not an excuse to attempt to cut you off completely. She should discuss that with him if it is the case, and attempt to build up their own relationship in that regard. One Mike Nation says, you're the a-hole. It's small, but you should have respected his decision or discussed it with him instead of talking to his girlfriend, especially since the two of you aren't close. And if you were to talk to her, you should have got more information on why she didn't want you to talk as much. Maybe it had to do zero with a physical attraction, but maybe just the time he spent talking to you. If you do talk a lot, she could simply just want more of his undivided attention and doesn't want him on the phone texting you while they are together, which is understandable. OP responds, "That's a great point. I should have considered that it could be about the time spent rather than any potential attraction. Thank you for your judgment." OP's edit. "Thank you all for your input. I agree, I was the a-hole here. Thank you to those who brought to my attention that Amy may have been upset that Carl was providing a certain level of emotional availability to someone that wasn't his significant other. That really put things into perspective. Also, please don't call Amy any names. I only met her a few times, but she's been nice to me in the past, and besides this, her and Carl have been a pretty good couple from what I could tell." Okay, well, OP got really good judgment. She accepted it and she understands all the points. And I agree. OP is definitely the a-hole for inserting her in a situation that she was not welcomed to, but also everybody else sucks a little bit. I mean, Carl should have stood up for his friendship. Maybe say, okay, I won't talk to her every day, or some sort of compromise like that. And the girlfriend, I don't think it's right that she's telling him, hey, I don't want you to talk to your friends anymore. Like that second commenter said, that is a red flag, at least in my opinion. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section, and while you think or write about that, let's continue with the update to see what happened after this. Nothing really crazy has happened since this post, but I thought I'd let you guys know how things have been. After I made that post, I made sure to keep a good distance between Carl and myself. We still talked a bit, but definitely not as much as we used to. I did have to talk to Amy once, but it was because of an unrelated emergency regarding a mutual friend of ours. Nothing to do with the original incident, and I left her alone after that. Then, a few days ago, Carl let me know that he and Amy were taking a break. I told him I was sorry, not because I did anything, just in the sorry this is happening way, and that if he ever needed to talk, I was open to listen. I left it at that and didn't push for any details, but he ended up venting to me for a while. Long story short, they were at different levels of emotional investment and thought it would be best to step back for a bit and reevaluate their feelings. Carl assured me that it wasn't my fault. It sounded like it wasn't anyone's fault and was more of a mutual misunderstanding, and said he wanted to go back to the way we used to talk. I was happy about this, obviously, but I also let him know we should probably talk about boundaries so that nothing like the original situation would ever happen again. He agreed, we had a long talk about it, and I think both of us left with a better understanding of each other. Thanks again to everyone who passed judgment on my original post. I know this update isn't super necessary, but I thought I'd post it anyway, just in case anyone cared. Well, OP, thank you for the update. Regarding Carl and his girlfriend, it sucks that they broke up, but it's best if they're better out of the relationship. Regarding you and Carl, I think what you said in your next to last paragraph was great. You guys kind of went back to the old friendship, but had a conversation about boundaries so that this kind of situation doesn't happen again, which is really good. Very mature of the both of you. And I think that's as much as I can say. Anyways, there's still a little bit of time left in the video, so how about we squeeze in another post? This one's from user MusicAddict11X. Am I the a-hole for wanting to shave my head? First off, about myself. I, 15 female, am a tomboy. I wear stereotypical masculine clothing. I have short hair, play sports, and hang out with a lot of guys. Pretty much as close to being a boy except the part where I identify as female. I'm also a lesbian and out to everyone, parents included. So, over lockdown, I wanted to shave my head. Only to a 3 or 4 though. A couple of my mates did it, so I said, what the hell, why not? I asked my dad if I could. He said he's fine with it, but go ask your mom. I went to ask my mom, and she said no. I asked why, and she said something along the lines of, because I don't want you to. Don't get me wrong, I love my mom. She's super supportive and is fine with me being gay. I was pretty torn. My dad was on my side, but tension has been rising in my household between my mom and dad. They've been fighting about unrelated things, and my dad doesn't want to add more tension. So here's where I may be the a-hole. I keep asking my mom every couple of weeks and asking if I can do it. She keeps saying no, but I keep asking. So Reddit, am I the a-hole? The judgment is not the a-hole. Now let's take a look at the top comments. YPPix123 says, not the a-hole. Last time I checked, it's your hair, not hers. I say rock it. Whack 3 says, Not the a-hole. It's your hair. Go nuts. Hair is so fun to experiment with. What's the worst that can happen? Hair grows back. Have fun. Black Morticia says, not the a-hole. I'm 23 female and for the past year shaved my head completely. I love it. If you don't like it, hell, it'll grow back. I still keep a few wigs around if I decide I want pink hair certain days. Yes, OP, you are most definitely not the a-hole. Like all the commenters said, it is your hair, not hers, so you can do with it whatever you want. If she doesn't like it, well then she's the one that has an issue. Maybe you'd like to talk to her about it. But in the end, it is just hair and it will grow back. Maybe I could see your mom's point if you would come up to her and say, hey mom, I want a face tattoo like Mike Tyson. But that's just a very extreme example of something that would probably never happen. Anyways, that's just my opinion. What do you guys think? Well, in the meantime, let's move on with the update to see how this thing finished. Long story short, I somehow persuaded my mom and it feels amazing. I got heaps of compliment on how good it looks at school and I'm super happy with it. Thanks for all the super kind comments, I really appreciate it. Thanks again. Short and to the point. Awesome OP, so happy that your mom let you do it and that you're happy with what you did. So all that there's left to say is, keep enjoying that haircut. Take care OP. And that's it for this video. I truly hope you liked it. If you did, leave a like and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you feel like chatting with others from this community, you can always join my Discord server and check out my subreddit. I'll leave links in the description. And having said all that, I will see you guys in the next video.